11-3 in Australia's favour. So a big task here for New Zealand. But we'll see how they go. You're pretty familiar with the Kiwis having coming up against them at the recent World Cup. They've got a lot of good talent coming through, and particularly in the youth. So I'm pretty hopeful that they can put a performance on here this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. With New Zealand, it's hard to kind of predict what they're going to do. Each game, it can be different, but we've just got to keep running at them. I think it's what's going to get us over the line.
Australia with the first possession from the tap-off. Shani Valila, one to watch. She's got ball in hand. 3 tries yesterday afternoon. And a whole stack of assists as well. Emily Ward as well. And a really strong performance. Jada Ferguson again comes in from half. Ward tries to get in underneath. Touch made here on 5th. So they've got a lot of strike out there at the moment, Australia. As Ferguson just comes off the left foot. Gets into the in-goal area. Throws one over the top to Valila. And on 5th touch, they're trying to claim their Olivia Fowler, but really when there wasn't too much happening for Australia, still creates something out of nothing. You see the replay here, Ferguson getting into the in-goal area. Must have just heard the call coming from the back from Valila, connects up nicely, and that's the opening points for the Aussies. So New Zealand gets back underway with Minton. Tifatu in the 7. Just play through the middle of the field at the moment, the Kiwis. Minton goes into half. Just out in front. Good hands to reel that one in. They'll play it right on the 5. It takes a little bit for the acting half to get into position. It came off an Australian body, but no hands in on that one. So Australia now come off their line. Choose to go down New Zealand's side of the field. And we saw that in the first few games, and it's pretty prevalent coming into touch football now, where teams actually take it away from their sub box and can still manage to make changes at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to kind of change it up here and there. Everyone's getting used to all the teams just going straight to the sub box, so defence can kind of read that.
So a good defensive set there from New Zealand. They start their set. As one of the New Zealand players picks up a little bit of an injury. Tifatu holding the elbow as she goes out the back of play. Bring some changes on here, New Zealand. Try to roll into the line now. 15, Sarah Baldwin drives in. Straight into New Zealand defence, Francesca McDonald. Challenged as of yet, the Australians. As this time they change up point of attack and do come down their sub-box side of the field. Kiwis are doing a pretty good job so far to put pressure on the Kiwis, but Valila coming back on, just straightens up the point of attack, picks up and goes from half. Can't get away from the Kiwi defence. So they've done a pretty good job the last few sets defensively to not let the Aussies get too far down their end of the field.
Yeah, Australia's attack coming off the line's a little bit scrappy, but I think they just need to pick it up, eyes up, and they'll get the roll on.
Kiwis now coming out of their box. Again, Foster directing traffic, picks up from half, tries to get on the outside. Has she gotten away from the Australian defender? No. They'll pull it back.
Good touch.
Carruthers calling the touch on that one. They'll get picked up for the touch and pass as a result. Again, Packy driving forward, no touch claim. And an additional penalty as well. No, they just play on the mark. Kiwis choose to roll the ball. Charlie Foster gets off into acting half position, working with Tamati. Foster again. Look to attack down the short side. Foster goes back in again to Tamati. Early ball. The Australians are having to scramble here. Do nicely. The King making the touch.
Australia need a press here. Don't give them time to set up anything.
Penalty comes as a result. They're just holding back on occasion, the Aussies. It's a repeat set attacking the line. Mitten. Forced to withdraw. Still throwing the football around face, but they're losing metres at the moment. New Zealand still in great attacking position here to get their opening one on the board. Potentially level it up. 1-0 is the score here in the 18 girls. Nice ball over the top, just can't quite connect on that occasion. At least they threw a few questions at the Aussies, but again, the defence on the line's looking pretty good so far in the first half. As they come down sub-box side again. See good contact in touch. Again, changes are having to sweep deep around the back. Still working their way towards the halfway line. Still haven't crossed as of yet. Donald gets them over there now. Ferguson comes back in field. They've got numbers. If they put it through their hands, a little bit of space here for Forbes. She goes back in field. So it's good ball work here from the Australians. So on 5th touch, managed to pick up some metres, throwing the football around. Give him a chance here. Ferguson trying a little bit of fancy footwork. Can't get away from the Kiwi defence. She switches in Valila. Valila gets around. So again, a little bit similar in terms of 5th touch play, which we saw them score off in their first one. It looked like they were covered here as we see the replay. Ferguson again, just chinking across field. Much going on here at the moment. Just a simple switch in the end. Lila just getting on the outside of Mike Joseph, so it's unlucky there from the Kiwis.
Yeah, just a bit of footwork got New Zealand. I think they're a little bit flat-footed. They just need to stay on their toes a bit more.
New Zealand really need to look to respond here if they can get one on the board, stay within striking distance of the Aussies. That's key for them here in this match. Great work here as they get into the in-goal area. Yes, no options available. Good defence. They really herded the Kiwis down on this right-hand side. There's no one available to throw back midfield. At least they got into the in-goal area to create the opportunity. Stuff drives forward. Ferguson, the hand in the last try for Australia. Nice ball work again. Costello from half. Gives to McDonald. Comes back in field to Geros. McDonald again. Just gliding across the park. Hits the deck. Forbes tries to get on the outside. Gets 2-on-1. Nice touch in the corner there. Madison Sheet. Great work again. They were just crabbing across field there. The Aussies trying to create the overlap. Almost did. Sheet making the touch in the corner. New Zealand now try to go upfield. They're going to get pulled back here for a forward pass, I think will be the call. Good attacking position here for Australia. We saw that with the New Zealand side yesterday. They were happy to throw the football around, which helped them get extra metres, but the execution of the passes has let them down so far in game 2. Hinkesman switches in Forbes. Geros throws the ball over the top, and is that being caught? No, a touch made.
That was close.
There was a close one. Costello almost getting it done. Forbes takes a short side again. Come up and make the touch on Costello. So New Zealand now again towards their sub-box side. The sun's starting to peer through. Temperature starting to go up. This is better from New Zealand coming out of their box. Rolling forward nicely here, Minton. Good job to hold on to that. They're on the 5. Minton picks up, gets into the in-goal area. McDonald has to stretch, claiming the touch. They'll call the penalty there. What McDonald may have been called off originally. Pulled out of the play, allowed Minton to get into the in-goal area.
that was a good set from New Zealand. Now they just need to set something up here, put it on.
Mike Joseph, captain of the 18 girls side, back through the middle. That's perfect response there. Great job, and that really did come off, like you said, Amy. The previous set where they rolled up through the field, they went a whisker away from getting it before the penalty, and then the repeat set. That's a perfect way to finish off, getting good field position down that end.
Yeah, definitely. I think Aussie was a little bit tired from that last set. New Zealand definitely got them rolling, so I think they just needed a little bit of breather down there, but can't stop on the line. As soon as you stop, holes open up.
Halfway point here of the first half, and that's exactly what New Zealand needed. It's a pretty big defensive set here for them as Ward goes back in field to Valila. They're going to pick up the penalty. So again, pretty important defensive set here for the Kiwis. Want to hold out after scoring points of their own. Australia look to attack the short side. Oh, almost slipping in underneath Macy Carruthers. Yeah, that's the correct call as well. Was not facing square on that occasion. It's just a little bit of an uncharacteristic error there from Carruthers.
Good run.
So again, this is where they got their value on their previous set. Rolling through the middle of the field. Pick up and go again from half. Nice early ball. Did Galili get there? No, not in time. Well, here we go. Scores have been locked up. The crowd's starting to become a big player in this one as well. The Kiwis go back to back as we have a look at the replay. Great finish there as well. Tiflatu getting the ball done, but it was a nice early ball there and release, Amy, that really set that one up.
Yeah, I think that came from their running in the midfield. Again, at the moment, New Zealand are just wanting it a little bit more, I think, and they're just running really well.
This is critical for New Zealand. As we saw, the Australians got away to a pretty impressive start, and it was all the Aussies early on. The coaching staff for the Kiwis are going to take a lot of positives out of this, how they fought back to level this match-up. Aussies were pretty much in control for the majority of the match in game one. McDonald throws a beautiful ball. Oh, goes back midfield. Needed a chance just to put the head down and go for the corner on that occasion.
Yeah, I think she should have just given it a shot herself and a dive in the corner.
So it's funny what momentum can do. It's all with New Zealand at the moment, and little things like that, they might start to feel a little bit of pressure, the Australians, forcing into making some decisions you might not usually make. The Aussies is trying to get up. Put some pressure on here again. Kiwis, too many options available for them. Fifth touch. And just throw it over the sideline. And we could hear the call from the Australian sub-box on that occasion. Stop rolling, stop rolling. So that's where the Kiwis are really getting their purchase. Australians got to try and get up. They're looking a little bit flat.
Yeah, they just need someone to take them forward. They're going very sideways. That's better.
Yeah, Hinkesman comes in. Ferguson will do the same. This is nice from the changes that have come onto the field. Ward picks up and goes. There's numbers out there on the right-hand side. Had plenty of options. Could have gone the link, could have gone the wing. And they just couldn't stop the roll coming out of the box on that occasion, New Zealand. It's a pretty classy try there for the Aussies.
Yeah, that was a lot better running from the Aussies.
Duff gets the try for the Emus. So back out in front. 3-2's the score. New Zealand all on the line for them here in this match. Oh, Minton just throws the dummy and takes his space. She's looking dangerous for New Zealand. Big game yesterday as well. Had a heavy hand in the opening stages of the first half here for the Kiwis. She sweeps around the back again, does Mitten, comes back in field. That'll be ball down. Australia now. Played through the middle on opening touch. Now they come back towards the sub-box side of the field. Let's see if the changes continue that momentum like we saw in their previous set. Pucky goes forward. Valila straightens up again. McDonald picks up from half, goes back to Valila, comes off the left foot. Still attacking down the right-hand side. Final pass, can't connect to Costello. Again, looking dangerous as they flow out of their sub-box area, the Australians. New Zealand now with Mitten. Links up, they'll make changes as well. Foster gets them over the halfway line. Players called offside for Australia. Advantage given. Somebody picks up a couple of extra metres as well. Fowler goes early ball. Back to Fowler. Beautiful exchange there from the New Zealand players. And they're not going anywhere. They respond nicely to level this one back up.
Yeah, it was a massive hole for New Zealand.
They knew it straight away. Ryan Joseph, see the space, see the replay come back up. Comes off the left foot. Good positioning as well. Open up like the Sydney Heads.
Yeah, I
space.
think they got both the middles in the touch then, so they couldn't get set. And wasn't enough chat online.
Ooh, yeah, a little mistake in acting half there from Duff. So the Kiwis, can they get down the other end? 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Start to roll over the halfway line. The try scorer, Fowler, takes one forward. She's off the field. Danger player here for the Kiwis is back on. Minton goes back in to Foster, and 6 touch is the call. Can New Zealand get up here? Minton makes decent contact. Looking for the mistake in the ruck, doesn't get it. Metres down the sideline. Duff. Burn again. Just overrunning the ball there. Hicksman. So there's a couple of errors now starting to creep into the Aussie team as well.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of miscommunication there with who was getting the ball. I think Aussie just need to keep the chat up.
So again, coming across the field. Ball into the in-goal area. Oh, big touch made there from Valila. Charlie Foster. Almost creating a chance for New Zealand. She's head off into the sub-box area. They get the change onto the field now. It's the number 9 and captain, Joseph. She's come back onto the field. She set up the last try for New Zealand. Can she do the same again here? Oh! If that is held onto, that is points on the board and the lead for New Zealand going into the halftime break. Oof, what a chance that was. So can Australia hold the football here, complete their set, get down the other end. Changes come on. Carruthers straightens them up. Now Ferguson overruns. Forbes has to force the ball back to Ward. Ward picks up from a half again, comes off the right foot. They're well numbered here. It's good defence from New Zealand. Now just over a minute to go. Can they get down the other end?
Australia definitely need to put a little bit of pressure on New Zealand's defence here, stop them from getting to their box. They look tired.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Nice touch there from Duff. And the call from the box. They're really trying to get them up here and keep this pressure on. They don't want to give the Kiwis half a chance to potentially go into the halftime break with a lead. They've been chasing pretty much the whole game here, the Kiwis. Nice drive into the line, a pick up and go. And they'll take the touch. So Sarah Borgwood through the Australian defence. Under 30 seconds to go now. Chance for Australia to potentially go down the other end and take the lead. We're locked up here in game 2 of the 18 girls, the Youth Trans Tasman series, coming to you live from Newcastle. As Packy gets over, there's no half there. Valila gets into position now. McDonald goes back to Valila. Nice exchange of passing from both players as the halftime hooter goes in the background. There's no options for McDonald, and Valila comes back in field. Can't link up with Emma Packy. What a first half we had there. It was all Australia early on, Amy, but the Kiwis did a great job to fight back, and we go into the halftime break locked up.
Yeah, both teams haven't really had a chance to put much on the line yet. A lot of the tries are just coming from running hard, scooping through, or a little bit of footwork. So I think it'll be interesting the next half. See if they get a little bit more of line attack and see what moves they put on.
Yeah, big second half coming your way. Can the Aussies get over the top and claim the series? Or can the Kiwis come back after a pretty heavy loss yesterday afternoon to take it to a decider tomorrow? We'll take a short break for the halftime. And at the score here, we are locked up, 18 girls, 3 tries apiece. Welcome back for the second half here in the 18 girls division, and we're locked up here between Australia and New Zealand in game 2. And Amy Dufour, Australian women's representative, is with me still for this match. And where do you think it's going to be won and lost here in the second half? The Australians, they look pretty good, like we made mention. Good start, good response from the Kiwis, but on both sides of the field, where do you reckon it's going to be won?
Yeah, it's hard. Australia definitely started off a little bit better, but New Zealand were picking it up and were defending them well midfield. And like I said before, neither teams have had a lot of line attack. It's mainly just been midfield and hard running.
Yeah. Forbes is in pretty good position to make that touch here if it was held onto there from Williams-Paul. So again, threw it out there. New Zealand, positive start. Australia just rolled through.
Running.
Yeah, didn't see too much of that from them in the first half.
No, I reckon their coaches had a word to them and said that New Zealand are looking tired and they need to start running up the middle.
There you go. And as a result, it just opens up for them towards the back end of the set. That's a pretty classy finish. As we see the replay here, Duff rolls into the line nicely. Valila just holds on to the football, or half dummy as well. The numbers out there on the left-hand side.
Well-deserved try from that last set.
So good start from Australia. Reclaim that lead, 4-3. Tiariki Mana is out on the field. She's in the 6. They come back into Minton. A set play there that they were trying to pull together. Minton and Foster coming around the back. She couldn't connect that final pass. Now Australia again. They go through the middle. So going back to what worked for them on the previous set. McDonald is back in field. That's good contact from Minton. Slows up the momentum in the ruck. So McDonald again picks up, comes off the right foot. Have to scramble there, New Zealand. Good job to close out that set. Minton looks like she might have picked up a little bit of an injury. Clutching at the collarbone or shoulder, which isn't good because she has been their strike player throughout this match.
Yeah, it doesn't look too good. I think it's a shoulder.
So hopefully it's not as bad as what it looks at the moment. Definitely need her back out in the park for the remainder of this match. Is there any chance to keep taking it to the Australians and get that deciding match tomorrow? Down by 1 at the moment. Sarah Baldwin just getting redirected now. Joseph goes out.
Short side sweep.
Throw it over the top.
Good hands by the winger.
Yeah, did a great job to hold on to that one. Referee's going to pull them back. Forward pass in the end. So straight tap on the 5. Hinksman takes the touch again. Heavy contact. And follow it up again. Ferguson comes back onto the park. Carruthers. It's the Aussies going forward again. Ferguson picks up, comes back towards Carruthers. They're scrambling nicely though, and it's taken a deflection off one of the New Zealand players. No hands involved. Ball down to call.
Australia need to start bending in the ruck. New Zealand seem to be holding them up a little bit and slowing the ruck down for Australia.
Stuff comes up out of the line. Ooh, and they just throw the extra ball. It's probably the right play to do. Sarah Baldwin just slipping out of the hands. No doubt, tricky conditions. Overcast but quite humid here this morning. Early rain. It's made the conditions quite difficult. Now New Zealand players have been called offside. Ferguson was looking to take the advantage. Come back for the penalty. Stuff links up with Ward. Go out to Valila. His strike on for Australia. Ward comes back in field. It's work from New Zealand. Duff in the half. Ferguson gives early ball. Didn't get there in time. No, the ball is down first. Gallant effort there from Hayley Ipia. Couldn't get there in the end. It's early ball again. Ferguson comes to the line. And that's a good finish in the corner as well from Jay Ackett.
Yeah, great left to right pass and a really good finish.
Just pushes them out to a handy lead again here, the Aussies. Back in front by 2. I know that won't rattle New Zealand too much. They were down by 2 early on in the first half. Managed to rally towards the back end of that first half to go into the halftime break locked up. They can't let the Aussies stretch away too far from them. Not quite there to be able to take that one. They'll get the penalty instead, which will be handy for New Zealand. Foster trying to link up on the left-hand edge with Williams-Paul.
I think New Zealand just need to settle it down a little bit here and just try to set something up.
Foster just holds the ball. Good to see Ellie Minton back on the field. To have shrugged off that shoulder injury. She's into half now. Is that early ball? They're running in. Ooh, must have just got the jersey. Oh, an incorrect play the ball. Really need to get those ones right. Pretty tough call.
Yeah, really important to get those 1%ers correct.
Kiwis now, can they come up out of the line? Force some pressure onto the Australians. Paki onto the field. Valila and Ward. Deadly combination. Both worked with each other so well. The Queenslanders, Ward just picks up and goes from half.
Good defence there by New Zealand.
Kiwis, they're going to have to do the hard yards here, get forward. Minton looking for some support. They Got to straighten up. Oh, that's gone forward. Yeah,
Good call.
Good pick up from the on-field referee. Definitely came out of the hands forward. So just starting to look a little bit lethargic now, New Zealand. Still plenty of time on the clock. They're going to really have to dig deep. Oh, that's a bit of uncharacteristic error there from Valila. So in the door, just slightly left ajar here from New Zealand. Can they capitalise?
Yeah, New Zealand definitely need to get one here.
Fowler goes back infield, gets in the half, early ball. They're on the attack here, New Zealand. Fowler brings it back out to the 5.
Oh.
Play on to call. Joseph gives it out to Marty, and they pick up the penalty.
Australia don't seem to have much urgency in defence at the moment. They're kind of just walking up. I think they need to put a little bit more pressure on New Zealand.
Joseph into half, just picks up and goes. They go back in field. Australians enter the call. Tamati goes back in field again. Tamai Joseph. Tamati plays it, 6 out from the line. Joseph gives.
Good touch.
New Zealand players reposition. Australian line holding. Joseph again, just putting it through the hands here, New Zealand on 5th touch. Not too many options coming into the line. Joseph picks up and goes. And they couldn't capitalise on those repeat sets on the line.
Yeah, I think New Zealand are definitely looking fatigued out there. They didn't seem to have much going on.
Oh, the Aussies again. They are really leaving the door open for New Zealand. That's back-to-back mistakes, I should say. On touch 1 in particular in the roll ball area as they go back in field. Touch made. Joseph comes back out, rolls on the 5. Come open side. Beautiful ball. They got numbers out here, New Zealand.
Great touch.
Emma Packy was a big one. That was 3 on 2. Captain again, plays it. 6 out from the line. Early ball. Oh, comes off Hannah Forbes. Yeah, if that pass was a little bit more crisp and on the mark, might have had a half a chance there, New Zealand. And Australia just might be looking to complete a set after not being able to do so in their last 2 possessions. That's good meters
Good
there
run
from Shani. Gets them over the halfway line. Gives good opportunity for the substitutions to come on. Kieros.
Yeah, they had 7 on there. Australia's going to have to watch that before the referee picks it up.
Donald comes into the line. Ferguson comes off the left foot, holds it up. Donald can't get away. That's a big touch. Swept there from Williams-Paul. Good attacking position here for Australia. Can they increase that lead again? Nice defence. They held strongly there, New Zealand. So 8.5 to go. Here in this match, the Kiwis got to get down the other end. Got to get points. Another try on the board. Might just be that spark that they need. It's been a fantastic performance from them. As mentioned, suffered a pretty heavy defeat yesterday in the opening match of the Trans Tasman series. This is nice roll into the line. Foster, still going Foster. Ooh. It's a tricky one. They had the advantage. She had a go at the line, but it kind of just takes a little bit of momentum out of their attack coming into the line now, but touches up their sleeve. Minton, last touch now. Foster plays out the back, can't connect.
Both teams definitely seem to be a little bit fatigued, so I think it's going to come down to who can suck them in and make the least amount of mistakes.
Australia coming down the right-hand side with Forbes.
Good touch.
trying to signal Minton to get the rest of the players up. Here, Ward goes from half, straight into New Zealand defence. Can get on the football now.
They were looking for the second phase there, but didn't realise it was the last touch.
7 minutes left on the clock. 5-3 is the score here in the second game of the 18 girls division. Australia, one hand on the trophy at the moment. Can New Zealand level it up? Sarah Baldwin goes back in field. Fowler drives in. Sarah Baldwin goes early ball, comes off the hands of Hinchesman. Deep in the touch count. Give New Zealand another 6 touches. Slide across the field, good touch. And forces the error as well. That's a pretty big play. Australia now come out of their end. Remy goes forward. Pop the extra, that's a risky ball. Again, changes flow on. Another mistake. They just can't quite put the nail in the coffin at the moment. The Australians, a few errors on their end as well. Still, but New Zealand, that's just probably been the sum up of their second half, while Australia have given them opportunities that just haven't been able to capitalise.
Australia's box is looking a little bit tight. I think they need to get around their team and support them so they can put a few more tries on.
Floating ball out to Emma Paki. Trying to direct traffic now. This could be a chance here for Australia. Duff gets the ball back. They switch back in. Sortel. Play it in the 5. Paki goes. Big bomb out to the left-hand side. The rest are going to take it off them though.
That was unlucky.
And that could have been the icing on the cake that they needed. We're under 5 minutes left in the clock. It's decent metres from New Zealand. Sun starts to come through here in Newcastle. Extremely tough conditions for both teams. As Amy mentioned, starting to get a little bit of fatigue into it now as Paki gives away the penalty. Contact in the ruck. Big set here for both teams. Joseph and Fowler directing the play in the middle for New Zealand. Joseph goes back to Fowler. Penalty given. So players not moving forward, looks like the indication from the referee. Atatoka get herself into the acting half position. They try to attack short side. I reckon they've got it underneath. Well, here we go. That's exactly what New Zealand have been trying to search for. They've been down this end for quite some time. They finally get the result they need, and they have reduced the margin down to 1. It is a game on.
Yeah, it was a really nice low dive.
Yeah, beautiful work there. Oh, Joseph has had a heavy hand throughout this match. The captain, that's the captain's play. If you ever see one there, ball in one hand, it gets it down. Plenty of time on the clock for the Kiwis to try and level it up. This is a big defensive set for them here. As Duff comes around the back. They go back in field. Ward. Duff plays it. Ferguson comes around the back. Throws a looping ball. Couldn't connect. Just didn't get the execution off that left to right. She would have been looking for Jada Ferguson. Good meters here on touch 1.
Yes.
Minton.
Australia needs to stop the roll here and start pressing, put some pressure on New Zealand. They don't want to get them on their line.
Send the extra ball, flat one back on the inside, another looping one over the top. They'll look to drive into the line. Good field position here for New Zealand to have a go. Foster gets into half. Foster comes off the right foot, sends it over the top, and coming in. Shut that one down. Jaya Ackett. She's just getting the girls just to calm down, keep their heads. New Zealand throwing plenty at the Australians. Just got to complete here, Australia. They're up by 1. Clock's starting to wind down. Under 2 to go. Here we go. A mistake again. Now, we've seen that a few times in the second half where they've been making changes coming into their box. A couple of errors have creeped in. And again, golden opportunity here for New Zealand.
Yeah, I think the Australians are feeling the pressure and they just need to keep it cool and defend hard here and maybe put another try on.
They've got their strike out there, New Zealand. Minton, Foster, and Joseph. Joseph here comes back in field to Minton. Last touch, early ball. Minton, can she create? They try to bat on. It's still in the hands here for the Kiwis. They still might be able to create something out of nothing. They're going to get a penalty. Wow. Players offside on 5th touch.
Yeah, not moving off the line. They're a bit static down there, Australia. They needed to press up a little bit more.
A minute to go here on the clock. It's all on the line for New Zealand. Minton, they go away from her. Come back open side. Off the left foot. They come back in to Foster. Big touch made there. New Zealand throwing questions early on in their touch count. Can they create something here and force extra time? New Zealand, they play within the 5. They go the early ball out. Oh, it dips away out in front of Madison Sheet. That might have been their chance. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. Oof.
That was lucky for Australia. There was too many touches in the 5 then. They needed to press them out of the 7.
They just got to hold the ball. 15 seconds left to go. New Zealand are getting up out of the line and putting pressure on the Australians. The crowd, they're starting to rise. Ferguson forced to place the ball back. The hooter's going to sound in the background. This is the last touch here. There it goes. They'll take the touch. Valila tries to get through the line. They make the diving touch. But what a game we had on our hands there. New Zealand threw everything at Australia. But they managed to hold on and they've claimed the series. Well, what a match that was.
Yeah, definitely. I think Australia were lucky they put on a few tries early because I think both teams were quite fatigued at the end. So both teams making quite a few mistakes. But no, well done, Australia. They deserved it.
Yeah, congratulations to the Aussies. They have sealed the Youth Trans Tasman trophy in the 18 girls division. New Zealand, they can hold their heads up high. What a performance after coming back from a heavy loss yesterday, and no doubt they'll put it all on the line tomorrow in Game 3 as well. They'll be looking for a victory. And we'll take a short break here. We'll head down and grab a few of their players and have a chat after that great match. And the 18 boys match will come up straight after that.